Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Cards Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. Today we got 2023-24 Upper Deck Hockey Series 1. Now this will be an interesting product because there are no autographs in the checklist. This is a Young Guns product. Let's be honest, everyone buys this for Young Guns, and that's the right move, I think. I'm not going to go over too much. Here's a couple pictures of the cards, and let's just get into the analysis. Let's get into the actual simulations. Now, I'm going to give you a bunch of statistics and information. If you make a purchase based on my videos, that is your call, and I'm not responsible if you don't get a hit, but I hope you do get a hit. All right. Steel City, which I think has reasonably priced cases, has this listed for $1,434 for a hobby case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the distribution of the cost that you should pay based on that case price per team. So I'm breaking the cost of that case by the teams and the number of cards. Now I do want to point out that I did not, this is very important because a lot of you will call me out on it, I did not calculate the exact print runs. What I did was I made an assumption of print runs for the base cards and certain parallels like the canvas that don't have serial numbers, and then so I did it at a lesser amount, so it's not actually 19,000. This product probably has well over 100,000 cards per team, maybe 90 to 100,000 per team. So this number, what it is it's a consistent number across all the teams. So having said that, there are no autographs, so usually I have the autographs as the first one. So really what we want to know is the Young Guns. That's probably what everyone wants to know. So who has the most Young Guns unique cards? The Predators, then the Blackhawks, the Flames, the Canucks. This is not the Connor Bedard product, so hold your horses on that Blackhawks. I believe that'll be Series 2. But here's the total number of cards based on those assumed and assessed print runs. Again, they're lower, but they're consistent. So if I said that the base card has 500 print run for the Predators, every team should have the same, or per player really is how I did it, but it's going to be the same for all the players. I didn't adjust them for some random reason. So just all you have to do is, if you know the print run, if you know how many, just multiply this number by whatever you know the print run to be, and that's what you'll get. You'll get the real print run. But for Young Guns, if you want to maximize the number of Young Guns that you can get, you want to buy the Predators, Blackhawks, Flames. If you want to minimize risk and buy teams that at least have some, avoid these teams with zeros. You can see there's a few with the zeros as far as Young Guns go, and then you start getting these low numbers. So we're just going to focus on the teams with the highest amount. Now, if you want to just base if you're buying, I don't have the price here, but let's say that you want to just maximize the number of cards that you can get in this product. So you're buying into a break and you want to maximize the number of cards. You want to buy the Predators, the Senators, the Maple Leafs, and I would pay around this price. This is again, is a distribution of the cost equally amongst all. Basically, what this says is every card's exactly the same value. And if you were to add that value up for each card that you get, you want to pay around $62 for the Predators based on this case price. If you're a breaker and you want to charge some equal charge about $63. Now you're thinking, that's a stupid way to do this. I would rather buy based on the value of the checklist. Well, happy to say that's what this channel is all about. This channel, really, I wanted to start evaluating products for how strong they are in the checklist. Usually this applies to autographs. So in this case, there are no autographs. So really what we want to look at, we can't look at this number because there was no autograph value. Just ignore this 2.4. That is for the inserts, because that was what I had. But who cares what the insert product strength is? This is the total product strength is 2.7. Now, a lot of that is because some of these younger guys, these Young Guns subjects, they don't have data available. I'm using data from eBay and Check Out My Cards to kind of figure out where the value lies in a lot of these players, and some of these players don't have cards yet. So how do we know what their value is? We don't. So let's look at the average ROI. So what I do, just so you know, is I do ignore this too. This is leftover from a different product. What I do is I do 20 case breaks, a simulation of 20 case breaks based on the pack odds, based on the print runs, and what the pack configuration or hobby box configuration is going to be, how many cards per box per set I'm supposed to get, and I run 20 simulations, and then I average out the ROI based on those. Check out my cards in eBay data that I collect. I do a ROI per case, and then I average it all out. So when I did that, those 20 case breaks, the simulation, I actually got the highest ROI for the Bruins. And that's because I probably got high return on a lot of the players for the insert cards and low print run. That's usually what happens with this ROI is I get a lot of low print run cards from the Bruins. That's important to know, especially in a product with no autographs. So the strength then, these strength metrics that I'm showing you, who is the strongest checklist, that's based on the team that has, one, the highest value of cards, and two, well, really that's it. Which team has the most subjects with the highest value? So in that case, it's the Oilers. I mean, Connor McDavid's probably setting the scale off here. The problem is that he doesn't have that many cards. At least when I simulated 20 case breaks, I didn't really pull a lot of these high value cards. So even though they have the strongest checklist in the product, the ROI return, this is important for people who are trying to use sports cards as an investment, is the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, the Canadiens. This is why it's so important to do your research and do your homework. And luckily for you, I do all that for you, so you don't really need to do anything. It's right here. So here's the top 10 teams for ROI. Let me just go through all of these so you know what the order is. So if you're also looking at this is average ROI for 20 case breaks. I think that's a pretty good sample size. If you're like, I really want the Red Wings and I'm going to just make tons of money on the Red Wings, just know that you'll probably, assuming you sold every card, base card, Young Guns, insert card, you sell them all, you'd make about $35 on average for a case break. So try not to pay too much for that. But if if you're coming into a situation where a breaker has listed the Bruins for a pretty reasonable price, go ahead and pull the trigger, because it seems like in these simulations, I'm getting the most cards out of that. So that is the ROI. Strength of checklist for the full product is obviously the Oilers again, and this is the full strength in order. Now, if you want to go off the base set, this is the full product strength for the top 10. If you want to go off Young Guns, this is the strength 1 through 10. And feel free to correct me if you think that maybe the Young Guns ranking is wrong. I'm pretty positive that the base and the insert rankings are going to be right because of the data that I'm using. But again, the Young Guns didn't have a lot of data. Sometimes when you have a small sample size of data, you can't do a lot. So it could be wrong. Just correct me on it. Hit the comments section and be like, the Sabres aren't the best team in this product. It's this other team because of the rookies they have. That's fine. I'm totally fine being educated by you guys. So if you want to base your price based on the total, oh no, that's insert. I did the total strength already. Full strength of checklist. That's the average ROI. So anyway, that's the insert, the rankings by insert card. There they are. Okay, I know I confused a lot of people, but let's just look at this product as a whole. There are a lot of 5s in this product, but then when we look at the rest of the product, they kind of lean heavily towards the 1 through 3. That's why that score's so low, because when you add up the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s, they really overtake the 4s and the 5s. For a product to be in the 4s, I mean, you would have to have a ton of 4s and 5s, and very few on, we're talking like Topps Transcendent is going to be a 4 or a 5. So that's the breakdown of players by the rankings, and this is a ranking that I've developed based on those ROI levels. So, if a player's card's worth like, $100 to $200, they probably fall in like a 4 or 5 range. Anything less than that, they're going to be tiered down. Because, most autographs that you're going to get are going to be not great. You'll hit occasionally, and that's really what this shows. Occasional hits are going to be better cards. Whereas the common hits, these autographs of, random nobodies, they're not so great. So here's the number of cards per player. If you're looking for the total number of unique cards for a player, really there's not that many because it's mostly insert sets, base cards, and Young Guns. So really most people have like 2 cards. Here's the number of unique. Now again, this is just a fraction of what the real number is going to be. So keep that in mind. This is just assessed print run estimates for my simulation. And then insert cards, we got, really everybody's just got like 1. And I think that's right. And then here is the Young Guns. And again, they have way more than 3,000. This is just an assumed based off the various print runs of the Young Guns. So here's your guys, the Young Gun subjects. There they are. And I'm just going to keep moving. Number of cards per team, here they are. Total number of unique cards is the Maple Leafs, Senators, Rangers, and let's see if it's the same order. Predators, Senators, Maple Leafs. So it is a different order when you go off of who has the most cards, because some of these cards for some of these players might be super low print runs, while some of them might be base cards. So they might have more base subjects than the teams with low print run insert cards. So that's why the order's different. So if you're going off total unique cards, you might not always get the results that you thought you were going to get. So there's the top 10 for teams with total number of cards. There's the next, and again, this number, it's an assessment. It's just to keep the numbers low, because what I do is I actually create a spreadsheet from this with every single card. So if a card has a print run of 500, I have 500 rows of just that card. And I have to keep the data down because I'm just using my computer. I'm not on Amazon Web Services or anything. So that is per team. Now we're looking at the cards per print run. The real value in this table is to look at the one of ones. There's 665 one of ones in this product. That table's pretty much useless after that. So now we look at which teams have the most one of ones. Total cards out of one. The Senators, Predators, Maple Leafs, Flames. Here's the top 10 teams with one of ones. Here's the next 10 teams with one of ones. The next 10. So if you're trying to get one of ones, if you're like a one of one collector, try to stick with these top teams here. Card types by quantities. So this really isn't that valuable of a table. I'm going to start removing it from future break analysis. These are the rarer cards. Basically, these cards have this insert set has a print run of 1, and there's 20 of them. So there's 20 cards total in the world of this rookie retrospective inserts that are to 1. There's 20 subjects. That's it. That table is worthless. Anyway, so for the 20 case breaks, I'm going to show you one case, then I'm going to show you all 20. So for one case, here's the results. Let's just kind of look at, maybe we look at Young Guns. What Young Guns we got out of this. So here's the subjects of the Young Guns that I got from this first case break. Look, none of them really have a print run. Let's see if we could sort by print run. I don't think any of them have a print run. They're all not numbered. So there's all our Young Guns. I think these C's are canvas. Yep. So that's the results of my one case break. Case number 20. Let's look at the results by team, though, because that's more valuable. Now we have the Sabres. When we did this simulation, out of all the cards we got the Sabres, the Oilers, the Senators. We got the most cards from those teams. That's for one case. That's for case number 20. So there, use that data. You take a screenshot, use that data. We didn't get any one of ones in that one case. But when we did all 20 cases, we actually got 5 one of ones, which means that every, 4 cases, you're going to get a one of one. That's what that means. So we got 5 one of ones and 20 case breaks, which means that on average, every 4 cases will produce a one of one. So there you go. That's what happened with 20 cases. Now let's look at ROI by team for all 20 case breaks. So when we do this, you see that the simulation is giving us different configurations of cards, because it's not doing it the same every time, because that wouldn't be a really good simulation then. So we do a case break we do the first, basically how my algorithm works is I do the first case break, and then all the cards that are in that case break, they're removed from the data set. So what this simulates is if you were to get 20 cases off the line, and if a one of one's pulled, it's no longer available to be pulled. So you can see that like sometimes Washington has a high ROI, but sometimes they don't. That's because the simulation's working. So if you want to just like take screenshots of this along the way, I'll show you all 20, the results for all 20. This is ROI per team. I know it's hard to read. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this text. I'm not the best coder when it comes to making graphics. I'm better at doing the data analysis, so that's the case there. So there's all 20 case breaks and the ROIs for each team during those case breaks. So there you go. Take screenshots. Use this data however you want. Look at this one. There was like a really even kind of ROI here per team. You can see the scale is different for this one because Washington must have had like a one of one auto, or no, there's no autos. It must have had a really high one of one, and the rest of these didn't really have, a lot of great cards. So, or they did, but the scale, it goes up to 600. So there was like a $500 something card that came out of that. So there you go there. That is the ROI for all the 20 case breaks. Now let's look at the team breakdown for all 20. Here's the teams I got the most cards of for 20 case breaks. This is the sum of all the cards, so not an average. So there you go there. Now I did get those 5 1-of-1s. 2 of them came from the Stars, and then 3 came from other teams. Okay, so that's excuse me there. So that's if you're looking for 1-of-1s. Those are the teams you should go after. Got a cough again. I really don't want to edit this video, so I'm going to leave those coughs in. All right. Here is the breakdown of card type by team. So since there's no autos, we really this table's not as valuable as it usually is. But we did get a lot of Predators in the 20 case break simulation for Young Guns. Also Blackhawks. I think this probably mirrors the actual configuration of the product as a whole. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you should use to make your purchase. So that's it. That's 2023-24 Upper Deck Hockey Series 1. And Series 2 is coming soon, and I think the checklist will be posted rather early, so we'll get that as soon as it's done. Thanks for watching Sports Cards Analysis. Thanks.